just being around so many positive women. I want you all to know that I don't want you to count it robbery that you are here today, but even just being in the midst of such anointed, awesome, God-fearing women, that alone is going to take you to the next level. So I'm truly honored, truly humbled to be here today, amongst of you, and to hear all the wonderful words that we've heard today and all the awesome stories and just, some amazing life-changing events for even myself. So, as I've heard so many say, we have been like piggybacking off each other, and it's amazing because even Pastor just sat down and he showed a clip from the Cosby Show, and I don't know about you, but I prayed, I begged God, please let me wake up and be Rudy Huxtable. I wanted to be Rudy in every way. I don't know if it was because I was dark-skinned and she was dark-skinned and she's one of the pretty dark-skinned girls, or the fact that she was on television, or the fact that it seemed like she had it made, but I prayed, Lord, whatever you do, when I wake up in the morning, I want to be Rudy Huxtable. I still want my same mom, but I want to be Rudy Huxtable. And sometimes, I say that, and I know you're like, you're crazy, but really, that was one of my prayers. And I didn't understand back then when I was praying that at the age of 8 and 9 years old, that it's not the fact that I wanted to be Rudy Huxtable so much, but I was trying to find my place. And I felt that Rudy knew who she was. Those couple of 30 minutes that we would watch her show, she was very confident in herself, and that was something that I was searching for at the time. Not knowing how to find it, not knowing what I was missing, but you were able to see that Rudy, she had it in every way. She was one of the younger sisters, but she controlled her environment. She got her way.
That's the truth.
Whether she was with her sister's friends or her brother's friends, she said what she wanted to say, and she demanded respect.
Yeah.
Right? So that's all I remember, just praying, Lord, please, please. I want to wake up and I want to be Rudy Huxtable. Okay, so it's obvious that I never turned into Rudy Huxtable. But I do remember being so lost in life and just knowing that it was something that I was missing, or something that I was supposed to do, or something that was going to make me known. Not necessarily celebrity status, but I knew that I had something to do, but I had no idea what that something was. My mom had me when she was 16 years old. My dad was one of the ones you would call a fly-by-night. He was way older than her, and he had her as a girlfriend and probably 3 and 4 other women. So it's not like I grew up with this amazing Rudy Huxtable story. My mom did all she could to take care of me the best she could, and I was raised into the projects until I was 7, but I knew that just because I was from the projects, that it was something more to me than a project mentality.
Amen.
I was not like the other girls in the projects. I didn't understand them. We did not get along because it was something that was different about me that I did not recognize. Okay, so then, got into the 5th grade, a time where you're getting ready to transition into middle school and you're still trying to find out who you are. I remember having so many self-esteem issues that as women we have every day. Right when you feel that you're looking your best, you see someone who passed by and you're like, whoa, that's just, they got it together.
That's true.
And I remember being in the 5th grade, and it was this boy named Ronald, and my friend and I thought he was so cute. One day we were standing outside, and he began to say, well, I do have a crush on one of them. I have a crush on that one. Now, me and my friend standing together, so I'm just praying, Lord, I just need you to do a miracle, please. Let him talk about, hopefully I'm that one. Change my name to that one. And of course, I was not the one he was talking about, which crushed me totally again. And I started questioning myself, how come, what is it that I'm missing, or how come I don't have what I think other people what is it that Rudy have that I wanted so badly? Still being lost, but having a relationship with God, I knew that I had to make it. Okay, I say had to make it, and you may not understand. Let me let you understand what I mean. Had to make it, I had to be somebody. I refused to be the average.
Come on.
I refused to be just the ordinary. You were going to know my name. And I had to figure out how was I going to make this possible. And everything that I'm saying today, I'm encouraging you because I'm saying the exact same thing to you. You are not the average.
Come on.
The ordinary just won't do.
That's right.
So I don't know what gift you have in you today or what you're sitting down on, but I'm encouraging you to start looking inside you. Start searching. Who am I? What do I have? What makes me different from the rest?
Yes.
Okay, so I started going through this life and went to college. I was a sophomore in college, and my stepdad is a pastor. And we have this place in Orlando, Florida called Winter Park, Florida. Now, Winter Park, Florida is this really nice area with pretty flowers. And when you step outside your car, people ask, "Hi, nice to meet you." And you have the nice buildings, the pretty buildings, everything just looks just right. And he moved his church from a beautiful place called Winter Park, Florida, to an area called Paramore. Downtown Orlando, Paramore. Now, I have to paint this picture for you because most of you don't know about Paramore. But I'm sure that my community, Paramore, compares to a lot of communities that you maybe be from or that you know of. So Paramore is a neighborhood where when you get out the car, people are not speaking to you, but they're begging for money. Or the smell of the pretty flowers no longer exists because you smell urine or feces, or homeless people are lying up and down the sideways, and prostitutes are standing on the corners, drug dealers are right there in your face, and every once in a while you'll come across a piece of crack that could be just right there in the middle of nowhere. So for my dad to move his church from beautiful Winter Park to Paramore was a culture shock for me. And I said, I hate this place. I hate the people. I hate the smell. I hate everything about it. How many of us know that sometimes when we're walking into our destiny, it's not always comfortable.
Come on.
It's not what you expect it to be. I expected to be Rudy Huxtable. She had a life that seemed so easy and things just came to her. I didn't expect to be put in the dungeon. So I told my dad, you know what? I'm not going to church there. I love you, and my dad is one of my biggest cheerleaders. But I refuse to go to church there. And I'll just go somewhere else, and every once in a while, I'll come and visit, but I'm not coming to church there. Now, my dad, like I said, being my #1 cheerleader, he's this big guy and very humble, just looked at me with tears in his eyes, and I hate when he does that. And he says, well, Shante, you know where to find me. Of course, I felt bad. So I went back one Saturday to help him start cleaning up the area, cleaning up the outside, painting the church. I mean, trying to get things back in order because it was no longer that pretty building we were used to. It was a very tore down, condemned building that really shouldn't have even existed. So I was there one day and I began to help him clean up. Now, how many of us know that sometimes we're in the middle of our destiny and don't even know it? But God has a plan like no other.
Amen.
So sometimes you may not understand your situation to the left or your situation to the right, but it's all in the plan of God.
Amen. Amen.
So that day, as I was helping my dad clean up, there was a couple of kids that were in and out the street. They were playing this game called Chicken. In the game called Chicken, there was a grocery basket. And that's what I remember telling my dad, where are these kids get a grocery basket from? There's not even a grocery store over here. And they're being pushed in the street when the cars were coming, and they would allow the cars to swerve, and that was part of the game. So me not thinking, at the time I'm a sophomore in college, so I'm 21 years old, I say, hey boy, what are you doing? You're gonna get yourself killed. And the little boy walked over to me and gave me a cursing out like you would never believe. And I remember thinking like, whoa, I'm not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. You better be careful what you say to these baby kids, because they're going to get with you. I began to talk to the little boy and his friends, and just by me being myself, the little boy humbled down and began to talk and laugh, and I invited them inside my dad's church in this little room that we had, and we had one game of checkers, and I played a game of checkers with the little boy and his friends. The next day, as I was in school, my dad called and said, hey, Shanta. I'm like, yes. He said, you know those kids you were playing with? Yeah. He said, they're back and they're asking for you. And I said, well, what do they want? He was like, they want you. And I was like, to do what? He said, Shanta, I don't know, but they're back. Now, at this time in my life, still searching for who I was, what I was supposed to do, how was my name going to be great. I had already decided I have $1,500 in my account. I'm going to save a little bit more, and I'm moving to Hollywood. I had no acting experiences. I had no background. The only acting experiences I had was me acting like I was Rudy from the Cosby Show. So from that time, I began to already say, okay, well, I'll come down there only today to play with them and to see what they want, but that's it. So I went down that day, played with the kids again, but I recognized that it wasn't only the 4 kids from the day before, but they had already brought 2 more friends with them. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So after that day, the kids began to keep calling every day, and I'm like, these hood kids don't even like kids. And I remember thinking like, there's no way these kids are going to keep coming back to play one game of checkers, and it's only a 2-player game, and it's now 8 kids. What is going on? And the only money I had was the $1,500 in my bank account that I was saving up to go to Hollywood. So before I continue my story, I do want to show a video clip so that you get a better understanding of exactly where I'm going.